In 2016, more than 20 million students will attend college. They'll learn, love, laugh, and they'll drink. And they'll pay a lot to do so. At an average 4-year university, students will pay roughly $20,000 per year, from tuition to books and gas to booze. Sure, they'll make more than non-college graduates when they get out. But with all the negatives, is it really worth it?
I was miserable. And I hated it. I was miserable. I was unhappy. Finally, my senior year, I was just wandering around, just feeling totally lost on this campus.
I went to college to learn to play trumpet and chase girls. And that I did.
And I wandered through Yoakum Hall, and I came down into this basement. I saw people doing this television. I didn't even know it was here.
I was an officer in Phi Mu Alpha Sinfonia. I was actually first trumpet player my freshman year in the symphonic band, and first trumpet in the orchestra.
I worked with the SA Tech crew, and by association ended up doing quite a bit of work with the college theater.
All the musical organizations, plus the fraternity.
What really saved me here and kept me going here was my music. Again, I played in the symphonic band and the jazz ensemble, and just any music ensemble I could play.
Those things kept me real busy, and it made me grow up a bit.
The college experience is really all about finding your niche and finding out who you are, like your strengths, your weaknesses, and it goes so much more than just the classes you take, but it's what you do outside of those classes.
So a college experience to me is very comprehensive, but it's also very unique. It really comes down to the individual student.
My personal experience is that I'm really involved with student government. I'm the vice president for clubs and organizations in the Student Association. I'm also the musical director of the campus's a cappella group. And I think those experiences have really allowed me to grow as a person.
There are so many different paths and so many different opportunities at SUNY Plattsburgh that the college experience really will be what you make it.
You're meeting all new people, you're away from your family, you're on your own in a sense, and I think that really helps you grow as a person and find who you are.
As for more club activities, I didn't know where to go. Most of the clubs were at late when I couldn't participate.
So I work at the GEO office because I studied abroad in Australia, spring of 2015. It was an amazing experience. I would love to do it again.
If you're a spring transfer, you don't get as much help. I felt kind of a little lost, thrown into things.
Get involved with as much stuff as you can, and be diverse in what you get involved in, and then you'll maximize your college experience.
The only club that I've really gotten involved in, which actually was more like my second semester, was National Broadcast Society.
Running to be an officer in the Student Association, trying to be an officer of a club or organization that they're involved in, just putting yourself out there.
I think that being a part of a club is really what allows the college experience to be so great, because it allows you to find your niche and to work with other people who have the same interests that you do.
I think that will make a college experience so much more rewarding.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my hands back.
So there is clearly a potential for a rewarding and positive college experience. But what about all the negatives that surround students today?
The national headquarters of Kappa Delta Rho has already suspended its Penn State chapter after disturbing pictures of young women students were posted on secret Facebook pages.
Today, the University of Wisconsin's Chi Phi chapter was kicked off campus. University of Michigan Sigma Alpha Mu.
The University of Virginia.
Kappa Delta Rho. Death of a freshman at a West Virginia University fraternity. At UVA, Phi Kappa Psi.
Come on now.
My fraternity life was absolutely nothing like Animal House. I mean, every house has got its 2 or 3 animals. We had a few.
You know, Plattsburgh had a reputation of being a party school. It was in the 80s, it was written up in Playboy as one of the top 10 party schools. And
I sincerely doubt that that movie is a representation of college life in a fraternity house now.
I know that there was a lot of partying going on, but to the extent of Animal House, I don't think it's quite that bad, but there was some partying going on. Plattsburgh State has its share of partying, that's for sure. Yeah.
I think the college experience really gives students a lot of freedom.
No one's knocking on your door to get you to class. No one is going to hold your hand and check in every night, you know, did you do your homework today?
But with that freedom also comes the choice that people have to kind of just do the bare minimum and not really do anything but like maybe go to parties and drink a lot.
Alcohol and drugs can have a really negative effect on a person's experience.
Honestly, I'm not too sure what can be done to change the culture of like drinking a lot and partying a lot. I think that those things will always be there. And in moderation, I don't think they're an issue.
You know, many of our students navigate that well to where it doesn't have negative impact on their life as a student and their collegiate experience. But the fact is that some of our students don't manage that well.
I prefer to take advantage of all the opportunities here at school, and I think that organizations like the Student Association really put out a lot of opportunities for people to take advantage of.
You know, the cliche, you know, idle hands is the devil's work. You know, some struggle with that, so that can be a negative.
But there will always be people who just aren't really motivated to do more than that, and that's fine. If that's what they're paying money for, then that's their choice.
So do the positives outweigh the negatives?
If I didn't have Plattsburgh State and if I didn't have Yoakum Hall that I happened to wander into that evening, that lonely evening, then you know, I have no idea where I would be right now.
I would say that college has been definitely a positive experience for me.
So while I'm not planning on going to one of the most lucrative career paths, I still think that the price that I'm paying to go here is truly worth it.
I think I've had a very positive experience.
It was definitely positive because I was a lost soul for a couple of years while here at Plattsburgh State.
If I really look at where I am now compared to where I was when I was a freshman, I just feel like I've come so far.
I think the experience that was the most positive was when I transferred over into the communications department.
I definitely think it's worth it if you invest in what you're doing. If you just show up and want to do the bare minimum, I don't think you're going to get that much out of your college experience.
If a student just focuses on academics and doesn't find, you know, meaningful, healthy outlets to balance that, then they're not going to feel connected to SUNY Plattsburgh and not want to stay here.
When I transferred, I found out a lot more of who I was. I had opportunity to go to California.
If I had my college career to do all over again, the only thing I would do different is I would attend classes.
The student that puts all their time and energy into socializing, out of classroom experiences, even getting into the alcohol and drugs too much, they probably won't last too long here.
I would say that even if I were to randomly drop out this year, my junior year, or even right before getting my degree, that I would say the money I've spent so far is worth it.
But that student that finds that healthy balance, whatever that means to you as the individual student, that's what will lead to success.
I've really developed into more of a leader. I've become a lot more confident. I really know my own convictions and I know myself. I know my limits. I know how to work with other people, and it's really helped me a lot more than my classes, honestly.
So it literally changed my life. It literally, I would say it saved my life.